Okay, I have done a decent number of videos at this point, so I thought I would put together a top 10 list of everything that I keep saying. So, obviously, if you've watched all the videos, there's a theme running through it. If you don't want to watch all the videos, this might be the video for you because it's my top 10 tips for a medium term rental. My name is Erin Spradlin. I co own Erin and James Real Estate. We work in Denver and Colorado Springs, surrounding metros. We work with buyers, sellers, and investors, and those investors are typically in the medium and short term space. Like this content, we have a website, we have a podcast. I do consulting, and there's also a book for medium term rentals that I wrote. If you go on Amazon, it's available. You just need to search Erin Spradlin, American Nomads, and it'll come right up. If you're looking for consulting, you just need to email me and we can set up a time. I typically do them on Tuesdays and Fridays. Something new that has come up with the lease. I'm getting a lot of demand for it, so I'm now asking for people to provide proof of purchase of the book. But if you prove that you have bought the book, I will send you the lease as well as the welcome doc that I provide for all of my medium-term rentals. Get into this. Okay, so tip number one, advertise on at least 2 different platforms. I'm having a lot of people ask about going one-to-one direct with insurance companies or direct with corporate rentals. I think this is a mistake because it limits your visibility to different demographics that might want your rental. So I say don't go one-to-one, just do at least 2 out of 3 of the following. So be on at least 2 of either VRBO, Airbnb, or Furnish Finder. And honestly, I would make Airbnb a key one. I know some people are a little bit nervous about Airbnb, but I think that they may not be dominating the medium-term market right now, but they might be. And if they're not now, they will be in the future. So at least be on 2 of the 3 major ones, and you will cover the vast majority of people looking for medium-term rentals, and you won't limit yourself to a certain subset. So be on Airbnb plus Furnish Finder, or Airbnb plus VRBO, or in a perfect world, be on all 3. Number 2, use professional photos. I don't know why you would buy a rental investment or be in this space and then not use professional photos. Your photos are not as good as professional photos. Trust me on that. And it is a high ROI for what you're doing. I use Virtuance. I believe they're nationwide. They're certainly in Colorado, but they charge roughly $100 for 10 photos. Totally worth it. They have a fast turnaround time, usually the same afternoon, but always within 24 hours. All right, tip number 3, utilize your headline. So Airbnb actually has limited what you could do as far as when people are looking, but this is going to change in 2023. So you no longer want to be saying spacious bungalow, close to everything, blah, blah, blah. These generic terms don't mean anything, and you should think about that when you're doing a headline. If you're talking about something generic, rewrite it. My tips for your headline are, if you want to be in the medium-term rental space, saying in the headline, this is a 30-plus day rental, this is a rental set up for remote workers. If you allow for pets, put that in the headline. If you have a great walk score, put that in the headline. If you have a pool on site and that's unique, put that in the headline. Look at what your competition is doing, and the really good ones. See if they have anything different that is a unique feature to their property that you also have, and then put that in the headline. But get rid of these generic terms that don't really tell anyone anything and also blend in with all your competition. You want to stand out. Number 4, mention everything important in the first paragraph. In fact, I don't really do paragraphs. I do add a 1-1 in Denver, and that 1-1 in Denver has a pool on site. It has 24-hour security. It has heated underground parking. It has its own private balcony. So these are all things that I put right in there, right at the very beginning as like kind of bullet points, again, surrounded by asterisks. Right, number 5, get a second screen and advertise about that. So second screen doesn't cost a lot. Sometimes when I say second screen, people don't know what I'm talking about. So it is a second display monitor. A lot of remote workers are white collar professionals, and white collar professionals are used to working with second screen. I don't know that you necessarily need to provide the attachment that allows them, because like depending on if they come in with a Mac or a PC, they're going to need different hardware to connect with the second screen. What I want to do is travel across the country with a second screen. They're not going to have a problem ordering from Amazon the hardware that they need to attach to the second screen. So I would put that, like, we have a second screen, this is a working facility. And second screens don't cost a lot, and it will make you stand out from your competition. Number 6, vetting. So my number 1 priority criteria for vetting is communication. I care about this more than I care about about a background check and more than I care about a credit check. Yes, I still do credit checks and background checks, but I care much more about how they communicate with me. Are they communicating fast? Are they filling out the application when they say they are? Are they showing up on time? Are they responding to my questions? Are they using good grammar? I've said this a million times, but it's not only that they'll be easier to work with, but it also shows you how they present to an employer, which means they're probably more employable. So I like that. But I do that. I pay attention to how good they are at communicating, but I also do a background and credit check on them through Zillow Rental Manager. This is an easy enough thing to do. It costs them $29. It doesn't cost you anything. And the other nice thing about this is that if you decide not to use them, they can use that for some other rental and provide it to some other landlord if someone's asking them for that. I know that Furnish Finder has Key Check in their platform as well. I've never used it, but I think it's free and I think people are happy-ish with it. So that could also be an option, but Zillow Rental Manager is something everyone's heard of and it's easy to use, so I like it. Number 7, allow for animals if you can. So the majority of rentals in the space across STR and MTR, I mean, it's probably softening a little bit, but in the past, they didn't allow for animals in this space. And it will give you an advantage. So it will open the pool, you can charge on those animals, and typically the damage that people that bring in animals do is like $39 annually more than people that don't bring in animals, and you can charge a lot more. So you end up as a win because you can charge more for those animals. You have a bigger rental pool, and the downside isn't very significant. Number 8, get a smart lock and get a smart thermostat. So the smart lock is for both you and your tenant. That way, if they lose keys, if they want to let someone in, if you want to have a contractor come in, you can just code it. I recommend Quickset Halo, and I'll drop a link to it below. But that's the one that I've been using, and I've been really happy with it. So do that. That way, there's never a lost key issue. That gets really expensive. The only thing that you want to be on top of, though, with these smart locks are batteries. And I know that I've told some tenants in the past that if the batteries die on their watch, they have to pay for the rekeying because it beeps. They know there's a heads up. So I don't want to pay to get it rekeyed when the lock has been telling them and they've just been ignoring it. And I tell them it beeps, so be aware of it. But thermostat is for you. So the Nest thermostat, you can set it, they can set it. But the beauty of the Nest thermostat is that it will turn down when they leave, which will save you a lot of money. I don't think utilities are necessarily going to get much cheaper in the future. I know that we have waves, but it's just a cost-saving mechanism that you're going to want. Number 9, when you are pricing your place, so do the research ahead of time. Look at, your competition on Airbnb, on Furnish Finder, on Zillow. Come up with a plan for how you want to price it. There are videos on that if you want to watch it. Set it and then go high if you're further out and low as you get closer. So for instance, I have a property that's going to come up and be available in January, and so I just dropped it by $100 this morning because the longer that it sits, that hurts me. It's better for me to take the hit on that cost than to ever go a month without anyone in that rental, and I don't want to do that, so I'll be aggressively dropping the price until someone gets in. Number 10, provide lease and welcome docs for anyone that is staying for 30 plus days. It's a little bit dicey if you're doing it through Airbnb, but you can still ask them to do it outside of Airbnb, and they're going to have to rent through Airbnb, but you're going to lease them in addition to your Airbnb agreement and just have them sign that. That will help protect you when you're concerned about the squatter situation. It also is a nice outline of everything that they need and that you need. And if you do it through Furnish Finder doesn't do any kind of leasing, so you're going to have to provide something for them anyways. So I like that. Just put a lease. Again, I have a lease. I've been giving it out for free, but I'm getting a lot of requests for it. So now I'm asking that you buy the book, provide proof of the book by, and I will send you the lease and the welcome doc. Also a Word doc so you can manipulate it. It's not a PDF, so it's like an easy thing for you to go in and switch. All right, that was quick and dirty. I hope that was helpful. And then a bonus 111. If you're buying a property, you've heard me complain about this before. Don't buy a property with a big yard or any kind of yard. Rocking it in now is the best thing you can do for yourself. Costs are only going to go up. They're only going to get more expensive, so bite the bullet now. Same thing with AC. But my biggest headache as a landlord is the yard, so I just really recommend avoiding yards if you can. All right, I hope that was helpful. I hope this was a useful video for you. Let me know your tips and tricks below if I missed any. Thanks.